we're doing it. Now, I'm going to sit here because you looked good. Can you look around to see if I look good in the frame?
You look great.
Am I in it enough?
Yeah. Hold on.
Scooch more?
Wait. Just sit naturally and I'll tell you. Yeah, see, now your head's out. So you're going to have to...
Like this?
Yeah, but then you're not facing me. Just wait. Just go back. Okay. That's... Yeah. Look. I'll be you.
Okay, be me.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to pull this way back, but then we lose...
Don't worry about that. Worry about Don't worry about this for our interview. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But now I know that I need to get a little extension cord for when I'm with the girls.
You're great.
All right. This is good. All right, maybe I should sit where you used to be.
Ooh, look at that.
Cool. Hi, Geno. Thank you so much for coming. That's my coffee. Oh,
I know.
Thank you so
we got to
much.
do the rotation play.
We got to swap it out.
There you
I
go.
just spilled. Thank you so much, Geno, for coming to my place of work to shoot my first. This is the pilot.
What are you going to call it?
Pilot episode. You know, Ho Rogan was an idea that
that's
I
not
had.
bad. Rogue Hogan.
Rogue Hogan.
No, I'm just fucking it up.
Yeah.
Can we say fuck?
Of course.
Can we say it up?
Of course.
Okay, just checking.
I could just call it like, I don't know, Chrissie time. Every idea I have sounds ridiculous. So I think
it's amazing. Like the podcast me and Berg did, the show In Hot Water. Mm-hmm. You know where that name came from?
No.
We're sitting there the first time we ever hung out. Not the first time we ever hung out, but the day this show idea was born, I bump into him at the stand and he's like, "Hey, do you do a podcast?" And this is also one of the greatest compliments I've ever gotten, like from in the biz. And he's like, "Do you do a podcast?" And I say, "No." He's like, I said, "Why?" And he's like, "Well, I did, but football." He's like, I said, "Why?" And he's like, "Well, someone asked me today if I did a podcast." And Berg says, and I said, "The only person I'd want to do one with is Geno Bisconte." And I said, "Oh my God, let's do one." I said, "I'll get my laptop." He's like, "How would we do it?" I'm like, "I'll bring my laptop over. We'll record it." He's like, "I have a hot tub. We'll record it in my hot tub and we'll call it In Hot Water," which we never did, but the name stuck. And now the shit we do on the podcast, it's the perfect name.
Not
so
gay,
my point
not gay at all. You're like, just get in the hot tub.
Just get in the hot tub.
Men,
having
some cigars. I love that. I love that so much because you're In Hot Water is so funny. And,
Thank you.
And I 100% attribute it to my at all being on Compound Media. Like, I would go on and do these silly characters, and like now I have my own show, and I still have people who will message and tweet at me like, "Hey, Chrissie, you should really just keep doing those characters, or maybe just do characters on your new show." And it's like, it's so hard to like, you want to appease the fans,
right,
and you want to make people happy, but at the same time,
you want to keep evolving what you're doing.
Yeah, you want to like fulfill.
But you're always on. We always have you on our show. You always volunteer to come by, and we love it. Like we always said, you and Figs just got our show.
Yeah.
And I say it all the time. Me and Berg see you guys have your own show, and we feel very cool about that. Like we like to think we help.
You're
We're
our
like,
daddies.
yeah. We're like, there you go. You're our first spinoff.
Aww. So,
and that show's going great, right? You're having fun. I feel like I'm interviewing, and you're having fun with it.
No, it is fun. Do you feel like? I don't know if it's In Hot Water or just like the racial jokes on In Hot Water. Do you feel like those jokes or the show has like maybe kept you from doing something in the industry at all?
I think Berg might worry about that more than me, but I embraced a long time ago. I'm just gonna say what I say and do what I do and see what it gets me. And I always say, I'll get what I get when I get what I get, which sounds stupid, but that's like, I don't think I'm missing out on anything because I'm saying what I want to say. I wish more people, could see it, but I like that we're behind the paywall. But I want to start a discussion about the things we say because it's jokes about race, but it's not racist.
No.
It's racial because I like making fun of all the races and religions in this country. I do.
It's
and
what
it's like
people have been doing for decades.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden that we're so interconnected, now all of a sudden it's like wrong. When it's like, no, we've been making fun of each other this whole time since the start of humanity.
Yeah.
It's just that like, I don't know, I feel like cancel culture is just all over the place. And,
it's fear. It's people.
It's fear.
Look, I'm sorry if you don't know how you feel about things. Like I said, I did a show at the West Side Comedy Club a couple weeks ago, and Berg was there. He filmed some of it. And I'm doing jokes. And I even say in the act, it's like, if people get offended by this, they don't see comedy as art. And comedy is fucking art.
It is fucking
art.
Is. I mean, like, a lot of comics suck, and it's not. It's like, bad art still deserves to exist. Like, art, it is art, and I keep spilling coffee. I don't know what to do with it.
There's something about physics, like, if you put the seal on wrong, it just, every time you do it, it blurps out. See, I got a good seal.
Sometimes you get a cup of coffee where it's just like,
you got to take that seal off and start
wrong.
over.
And then you're like, is it the seal? Is it the cup? Is it the combination together? It's like the
absorb.
Sometimes you get a cup of coffee and you're like, it's messy. You just got to throw it out.
Yeah, because it doesn't take. The seal doesn't take.
Yeah, and then I'm like, am I retarded?
No, and like, but getting back to it, it's like, and I say this, you write a book about the Holocaust, and it's art, and everyone should read it. You should. It's the lowest point in human history.
Diary?
I have a couple of those. Pages are stuck together.
Why are they stuck together?
Because I cry when I'm done jerking off. You have to see the whole thing. But the other thing is, you make a painting like Picasso's Guernica, and it commemorates the bombing. I shouldn't even say commemorates, but it's about the bombing of the city of Guernica. And these are two works of art. One's literature, one's a painting, and you look at it and it moves you. Yeah. But it reminds you of a tragedy when you do a joke to remind people of the tragedy. And I would argue the greatest way you could remind them, because if we forget the past, we're doomed to repeat it, through laughter. People are like, yeah, that's not funny. Fuck you. Fuck you. And I'm doing a show at the West Side, and I do this other joke. It's in that joke, and I say, I'm like, why is it you can write a book about the Holocaust, which everyone should read some. I'm like, if you want to read a book about the Holocaust, they're in the nonfiction section, right? And then
I mean, that's if you think it exists.
Exactly, and
really
then I'm like, but then I say, I'm like, for those, because not a lot of people get it. Of course you do. You're a comic and you're intelligent, but I'm like, if you didn't get that, some people say the Holocaust never existed, and then I dumb it down and say, of course the Holocaust existed, otherwise what am I jerking off to? And I say that joke, and people are laughing, and some old white guy in the back goes, boo. He literally boos.
This is recently on West Side?
Yes, and I get so angry, because that's the guy. Yeah, Jesus said it. They're like,
he's booing like so that people can look at him and acknowledge him as being like somehow more intelligent. Woke. When it's like,
he's that guy. Yeah. He's that guy. He's older, and he probably uses the word colored in everyday language, and he thought segregation was the right thing in the 60s. So now he's atoning for it by saying, "What? Boo! Boo! Look at me booing that." It's like, fuck you.
And it's like, you're only. That's the thing. I wonder how many people would get into canceling somebody else if it weren't public. If you had to sit and write letters, you know, let's say for every tweet you tweeted out or post, if you had to actually sit down, write a letter, mail it, I wonder, and it was private and nobody saw you do it, I wonder how many people would still be as outraged and still be reaching out as much to cancel
because they couldn't
somebody.
get credit for being
Nobody
so woke.
sees them like, being so smart and so righteous.
Right.
But I like your opinion on, like, you know, I'm just going to do what I do. I'm going to express myself how I want, because if you were to hamper that, if you were to dilute yourself to appease the woke people, or just to be like, I don't know, more, if people would call it more bookable or more marketable, like if you were going to dumb
more palatable
to
today's culture.
If you were going to dilute yourself, dumb yourself down, how good is that going to make you feel, number one, day in, day out? Are you going to just be like, oh, I feel like I'm further away from my purpose, I'm further away from my art, my voice?
Because if you, like they used to say this, and I didn't, and I don't know if it was brilliance or just laziness, like, just work on a clean set. And then you get a clean set, you get on the Tonight Show, and you do whatever you want. I'm like, but if you even just change one little word, like, you're on this path, and if you change one little word, then you're here. And it doesn't seem like much, but over the long distance, over the long course of it all, just 1 degree off, you're going to miss your mark by a lot. So I don't know what target I'm heading for, but I want to stay as firmly on course as I can.
True to yourself.
So I say whatever I say and see what happens, but I don't say anything I can't defend.
Right.
I do not. Like, you know, like, and if I do a joke about the Holocaust, people are like, I'm offended. I'm like, why?
Why?
Well, the Holocaust was bad. So you think the people laughing at that don't think the Holocaust was bad?
Anybody in your family killed by the Holocaust? No.
No.
And it's like,
they've never been to Anne Frank's house in Amsterdam. They've never, but they're like, well, I just don't laugh at it because I know it was bad, and you're an asshole.
So we can't make jokes about any tragedy at all. Like that I don't know, that knocks out a lot of things you can talk about. I
say this in my act, and I got to bring it back for the next album, but it's a fact. The only thing that truly brings us together as a planet are tragedy and natural disaster. Because man gets so caught up in the adjectives, white, black, Republican, Democrat, Christian, Muslim, whatever. And then God or the universe or whatever just takes a chunk out of some part of the world. And suddenly no one's worried about adjectives. They just want to help their fellow human. It's always like that. Yeah. And I love that. I shouldn't say I love tragedy, but I love...
You love tragedy.
But you do. You have to embrace the fact that tragedy, why do bad things happen? To remind you to fucking focus.
How lucky you are, too.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're fighting over a religion. Look, some dog is on a piece of wood floating away. You know? That's what matters. And I heard, too, our friend, our fan Damien in Australia was telling me that the Australia wildfires were mostly set by arsonists, that there's about 30 or so guys that they either gonna arrest or did arrest that are responsible for the fires. But like, look at how it's spun in our country, that it's all about global warming, that it's like, that's 100% the point of view. And really it's like, wow, it was people who set these fires. I don't know, that's like a
and they did it to make them think it was like the global warming.
And I think that perhaps our news or the people that want to push that agenda, like when the news came to this country, they were like, oh, let's spin it and make it about global warming and leave out the part that people set these fires.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but that's cool. And that's the thing. If you were to change your act or your persona, let's say maybe you do get for a couple years, right? And then you do get the Tonight Show. Well, then what? Now you have that one credit. You've got maybe 30,000 more eyes on you for a certain point in time.
But you're not
then
saying.
What do you do?
But then it's work.
Yeah.
Because instead of saying what I want to say, which is art and fun and why I'm here, I'm like, it's you. The Buddha said you either go within or you go without. And if it comes from within you, then you're creating art. If you go outside of yourself and say, this is what they want, this is what they want, so let me fashion it, and then I'll say it. That's work. And you could get a job with a lot better, fucking pay, benefits, and whatever than doing stand-up if you want to work, and I don't want to. I want to create.
And for you, it's not about the shock. You're not entirely about shocking people.
No.
It's like the shock is a means to get in. It's a way to like almost like disarm and get in and be like, hey, why do these words and these phrases affect us so much? Like they're just words.
It's to affect your soul, and I know that sounds deeper than it is, but I say it like I don't want clapter. I don't want the shit Comedy Central selling now, where people are like, oh, that's very cute. I should laugh because it's a multiracial.
Like clapping is not laughing.
No.
Clapping is like
acknowledging.
Yeah.
But I want I don't want you doing that with you. I want you covering it like, why am I laughing?
Yeah,
I
clap at a kid's recital.
Yeah.
Like you're not like really enjoying the fact that you're there. You're just like, this is what I'm supposed to do.
You're acknowledging.
What you want in comedy is to like, you want a visceral reaction.
Yes, perfect word, visceral.
You want someone to like, they can't help but laugh or go, it's like you want to feel something.
Yeah, and that's what I go for. And it's great. Like it's a drug. It's why I do what I do. It's I don't want to fashion this set and by the way, late night isn't what it used to be. The business changes so much every 10 years. And I say, like, I think Milton Berle probably sat with Dean Martin 70 years ago and they say, oh, it's changed so much in the past 10 years. But the business, I guess every business does, but I know ours does,
When was late night, when do you think it was last, like, wow? I mean, I would say maybe Letterman was a really big deal.
Yeah, but I mean, but not even, by the end of Letterman, it wasn't even. It was like, it's like, because Vecchione did Letterman, didn't he? I know he did the Tonight Show. He might not have done Letterman, but I know guys that did Letterman. And, it doesn't get you what it used to, because now there's 900 late night shows, and they all have a different brand. And I hear weird things about, like, Colbert doesn't even talk to the comedians. Like, they film I don't know what goes on, and I don't care.
I think they film in bulk. They'll film like a few at a time, and then they'll release them, like, not even every show, but over the next few months.
But who needs it anymore? Like, it's not what it used to be. You could find... Netflix has all the comedy, like YouTube. You could find comedy anywhere. You can find it on like Instagram. So it's not what it used to be, where you'd say, oh, there's a comedian tonight,
Like, I'm shooting this from my iPhone 10.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope it's still going.
It's fantastic.
Let me just check. Yeah, it looks good. We've been going for 13 minutes. No, that's very interesting. And like, yeah, sure, I know, like, I think I noticed Ali Colbert kind of exploded a little bit after she did Colbert. Other than that, lots of people have done late night spots, and it's not the immediate catapult into fame that it used to be.
Like Bonnie McFarlane had an incredible Tonight Show set. Vecchione is on it all the time. It's not. Like Bargatze did the Tonight Show, Nate, but he was blowing up on other levels. He's got it. He's hilarious.
He'd already been on the road for years, like cultivating his fan base, which is, I think, what's so important about what we do. It's like we do our own shows. We find our own people. You stay true to who you are, so that your fans are your real fans, and they're there, and they're not going to be fickle. If you're having an off day and you say something that is truly weird or a little bit off or a little bit evil, they're not going to be like, oh, what the fuck, Geno? They're going to be like, oh, he's going through some stuff because I know him and I watch the show. Or Chrissie, like, oh, she's, having some fights with her boyfriend, whatever.
She's working through it.
They're not going to be, it's the strangers who don't know you and don't appreciate what you do. And they're not even usually comedy fans. Like, those are the people
the people with no sense of humor
quick.
Want to tell people what they should laugh at. And you don't get to pick.
Yeah.
You don't get to choose. It drives me insane. But that's the thing. It's like these people, they want to stop you. I say, in this, like, it's a fact now. It's not now. It's always been, but laughter, it heals you. It's a fact. It's not laughter's the best medicine. Laughter is physical fucking medicine. It releases endorphins. It reduces stress. It releases an energy that is fucking incredible and heals you.
I think it's why you look so young, Geno.
Yeah. And the vodka. I'm kidding. But it's thank you. But I agree with that. And it's also the people that like, oh, I don't think that's funny, so you shouldn't laugh. Well, that should be a hate crime at this point.
It's like you're telling people. It's like you're telling people. Yeah, she's my coworker. I should have given her the heads up that she just.
But I'm telling you,
she doesn't like loud noises.
Oh, I'm sorry. But to stop someone from laughing in this day and age, that should be like a hate crime. I mean it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I don't want you to laugh, but then that's like withholding medicine.
It is.
It really is.
And it's like, we don't do that with any other art form. We don't go to like Lincoln Center. We don't go to somebody's watching live music. Oh, you guys shouldn't be here. This music sucks.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing
you're right.
here? We don't go to a museum and like, someone's like drawing a painting, or what people do when they go to art museum. Like, you don't slap it out of the way. Be like, you shouldn't be enjoying this painting. You shouldn't be enjoying this music. It's like, well, then why are you here? And that's like what Twitter is perfect for. It's like you can just like insert yourself into a place where you don't even like what's going on, but you're like, I'm here to tell you to not be down with this.
And it takes so long at least for me, to just realize these people are nobodies with 5 followers, even if they have, I don't care. It's like, you're just sitting there on your computer, not living your life.
And that's what's sad. It's like, wow, think about how much of their life they're dedicating to telling other people what they should and shouldn't enjoy. It's like, what's wrong with you that you're not going out there and finding your thing? Why aren't you finding your expression? Why aren't you like lost in some art or getting into like a good book or like hanging out with friends? Like, honestly, it's like when people are just spewing negativity, it's like, well, yeah, maybe we should look at that. But everything's so quick and like culturally, I feel like everyone's so quick to tear somebody down because then it makes them look right.
Oh, the first person to be offended wins. The first person to be offended is the smartest, the most woke, the most whatever you want to call it. But I know why that's wrong. I don't care. I don't care why you think it's wrong. I either want you to laugh. And we're laughing like, I do jokes about slavery. Oh, that's not funny. Yeah, it's fucking hysterical. It's hysterical. Look, everything turned out great. We're all here now.
I'm pretty sure like everybody who was a slave or owned slaves is probably dead by now.
Yeah, it's over. We have the NBA now. Things are working out great.
Yeah, we have the WNBA.
Yeah.
Everything's...
Yeah, those dudes are great. What?
Speaking of girls.
What happened?
Speaking of women, anybody special in your life right now?
No, absolutely. No.
Were you burned by the Alex dating scenario?
No, I had fun dating Alex, but she's just crazy. I mean, I'm crazy too.
Do you think you have a type?
I think my type for the longest time was just women that I knew the relationship wouldn't work out because I don't think I wanted it to work out. I don't mean, because I think I believed in my head I couldn't do comedy and be married. So I think I would always choose women that were way younger than me, knowing in the long term it wouldn't work out.
That sounds like you have a lot of self-awareness. Like
I'm 51 now. It's obvious in hindsight.
I was about to ask you. I was like, Geno, do you think you self-sabotage and pick women who might not be ready to settle down, and you just like said it yourself?
Yeah, it's obvious though, and it's always like, and they always go on, and it's like, and I do jokes about my ex Sarah. That's not her real name, and she's married now. I met her husband. God, great. It's like, and they were never like, never did I date a girl. It's me or comedy. They were always like, this isn't working. You're never going to stop doing comedy.
Are you afraid of finding somebody really great? And what if they do go, it's me or comedy? And what
then they wouldn't. They wouldn't be great if they said that, right?
Exactly.
And I don't think, like, I get the question you're asking, but no, that wouldn't happen.
Because that wouldn't be the right person.
Wouldn't be the right person. Plus, I don't even think anyone like that exists anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in my age group. That's something a 25-year-old says, When they are, like, young and dumb enough to think that they're the most important thing in someone's life. Yeah, you're gonna choose me. You don't even know who you are,
Yeah, like, what are you choosing? You're like,
And that was another thing, like, the last 2 girls I dated, it's like, I was always like, you have to figure out who you are.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm like, I know who I am. This is what I do. Well, when are you going to retire? I'm never going to retire. I'm going to die doing this.
It's a lifestyle choice. It's like, when are you going to stop being gay?
Well, yeah, when I die.
Never.
I'm not going to stop being gay or comedy.
Do you think you could see yourself ever not getting married, but maybe just dating the same person for a while? Or
yeah, I think I could now. Because now I know what I'm doing, even though I don't know what I'm doing. Like, this is it. Like, I have faith in what I'm doing now. Look, I'll ride it to the end. Like, my mindset is just keep fucking doing what you want, and money. I'll never be rich. I'll never be famous.
Don't say that.
I shouldn't say that.
You can definitely be rich.
I can be rich and I am rich. I have an abundance of enough. I mean that. Right. I always have enough time to hang out with my friends and family. I always have enough money to buy what I want, need, all that stuff. And I always have enough health. I'm fucking incredibly healthy, thank God. That's what I have. So, like, that's the wealth I wanted, and I didn't realize it until now.
Like your freedom. Like, there's wealth and freedom.
Yeah, somebody said that to me once. Like, I'm like, I don't think I need to be rich. And my buddy goes, you wouldn't be good with a lot of money. you would try to spend it all immediately.
You would buy a lot of shots.
Yeah, more risky. Hey, who needs drugs? Oh, I'll do one. Dad, fentanyl.
Yeah.
But I just, I could be rich, and I shouldn't say it like that, but I just know what I wake up every day expecting to be happy and healthy, and every fucking day, knock wood, I am. It's fucking great. Knocking on wood.
It is pretty great to be like, my time is my own, and I'm at the place where I'm like, do I really want to have kids or not, or am I just comparing myself to people my age that are living that life?
You'd be a fun mom. You'd be crazy like my mom was.
I am like really afraid that it would tank my career. Like, I'm really afraid.
Oh, you could tank that without a kid, hon.
Thanks. You're doing that already. I'm just really afraid that, like.
But you know what it is?
For 2 years, I'd have to check out and like.
But I'm telling you, and this is because I'm like, I can't have a kid, but like, I'm nuts with my niece and nephew, and like, everything. It's not about what the kid will make you do. It's how happy the kid will make you. And when you're happy, you write the best comedy, don't you?
True, but what if the kid does not make you happy, or what if the kid has like special needs and
have
it really,
faith in
you know
yourself.
what I mean?
Yeah. Well, let's just get in our time. Let's get in our time machine and see what's going to happen. Oh, they don't exist. You know what I mean? Like that. But that's the ride, Chrissy. This is like here. Whee! That's the ride, isn't it?
Yeah, I really don't want to have a retarded kid. And I don't think enough people are saying that. I don't think enough people are saying that. I don't think enough people are saying that they are afraid of having a retarded kid. And then you read all these things, like you look at all this like outdated, I don't know, stuff online that is like, as soon as you're 35, you're having a geriatric pregnancy and your kid's going to have a tail.
My mother had me at, why can I never remember this? She was
40?
Yeah, and I was born in 1968. My mother was born in 1930, so my mother had me at 38. And this is in the late 60s.
When nobody was doing that.
When nobody was doing it.
My mom had me at 36, and that was in the 80s. Like, I feel like even less people were doing that.
And my mother, I'll never forget. Well, obviously I wasn't there, but I'll never forget her telling me the story. She was a teacher. And in the late 60s, like, all right, you have to be out of work 2 months before you give birth. It's just because of how it was back then.
2 months leading up to it.
Yeah, 2 months, 7 months.
That's sweet.
So my mother just goes, yeah, he's due in February. She lied. She's like, he's due in February. She was a teacher. She taught Christmas vacation. She took vacation. She had me on vacation. She's like,
in Christmas, in December.
So she lied so she could teach up until, because she loved her job. My mother loved teaching.
Like, he was early.
Yeah,
wow.
It's so funny, which is why I'm so smart.
Now it's like
you're the doofus faces.
I think it's the opposite is true now. Like, women are so scared to like lose their jobs or like lose out on money. They will work until literally there's an arm sticking out of them, and they'll be like, "I have
Why do you waste this money on me? Where does this go when we put you on stage? Where does
I don't know. Well,
you are great. You tour with us with comedians, and I fucking look at my face. I fucking love it. I do. I do because and Larry's been great too.
Yeah, I love it.
That's the thing about the Compound Media family. Like you can't fake it. It's like sometimes I'll be doing a show with all of us, and I'll be sitting there beaming at you, Figs, and Berg. I'm like, we're the cool kids.
I'm so proud of my kids.
It is. It's like we're the cool. People are like, Chrissy's great, and it's almost like you're like, I knew it before you.
I made her.
Just like I knew it first.
Aww.
It's so funny.
Aww. Yeah, those are great shows, the Comedians of the Compound. I think there's one coming up in April.
We're doing one in Philly in, I think, March?
In March. I think it's March. It's like March 13th. And I'm still like squaring away all my LA stuff. But if I end up coming back earlier, then I can do it. And if
You're doing AVN in Vegas, right?
Yeah, that's like I'm flying out tomorrow.
Awesome. Now,
Yeah.
What's LA? What are you doing there? I mean, I know what it is.
LA, I'm just going out there. Like I actually have.
Do Bronston's room.
Yes, you're right. I got to reach out to him. I'm doing some podcasts. I'm doing some radio stuff. I'm doing Kill Tony, which I'm like.
Are you doing Kill Tony?
Kind of not telling people, but I said it once on on a Instagram Live or
you're
something.
Gonna kill it.
Which does combine my two loves of roasting and squashing the dreams of young comics. So I'm really excited about that. And then a couple spots here and there, but that's a good tip about Bronson. I should hit him up. And,
definitely.
I'm getting it together. I would love to really have like one headlining show. But if I can't,
and I'll put you in touch with our girl Dee over at Ice House. Ooh. She might be able to. Well, Bronston knows her as well.
Okay.
So me and Bronston. So reach out to Bronston.
Okay.
And when you do mention, like Geno said something about maybe doing the Ice House with Dee, because it's not a hard sell. If she can put you up, she will. If she can't, she won't. But she doesn't bullshit.
Where's the Ice House?
Pasadena. But it's a fucking dude. I want to do my next album there because it's the main room there it's like fucking New York Comedy Club in Gramercy. It's a kill box.
Wow.
Low ceilings, perfully lit.
Kill box is also what I call my cooch.
I call that the slot machine.
Everyone's a winner.
But yeah, definitely do that and then come back for the show because you'd be like, I just flew in from LA to do Comedians at the Compound. Be one of those cool things.
I know. I'm like getting busier. It's like it's all about like what you want. Like if I just have been. It's so weird. Like, I think my mom dying honestly opened up so much, like, headspace that I can really be like, okay, so what do I want now that this person that I spent a lot of time worrying about is...
You don't have that distraction. I don't mean that in a mean way.
No, I didn't either.
But you could always go like, well, I got to take care of my mother rather than worry about me. And your mother, in the end, would always want you to worry about you.
And I miss her every day. And it's like, even when she was in Florida, there was nothing I could do. I wasn't physically there all the time, but it would take up so much space, like, worrying.
Right.
So yeah.
That water.
Oh yeah. All right.
My mouth gets dry.
This was a good little like firsty pod. I think we promoted the things that Is there anything else you want to say?
No. Well, tell me about this pod.
So it's going to be me doing
Because you got to tell them.
It's going to be me doing one-on-ones with people. Because
I love that you asked me to do the first one.
Yes.
I do. Dombrowski did his first. My buddy Kim Dombrowski has a pod called Just Joking. And he has like big names on it because he's touring with all. But he's like, I need you to do the first one just to get my feet wet. And I take that as such a compliment. You know what I mean?
Exactly what this is. Yeah. Because Wet Spot is great and it's fluffy and it's fun and it's like
controversial.
And it's sexual and sometimes there's porn and sometimes someone's trying to cancel
Not gay porn like ours all the time.
But I thought like, wow, like this could be a good chance to have like deeper conversations with just one person and really focus on them and like maybe go a little deeper, maybe learn something. I don't know. I mean, I like to talk to people and I feel like sometimes, Wet Spot is fun and I like to have multiple guests and sometimes people have been like, you should just have one guest on Wet Spot. I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like I want to keep that what it is. And also I'm doing this because I want to be putting out content more than once a week.
It's just the reps. You got to get the reps in to evolve. It's like stand up. The more you do it, the more you like something, the more you do it, the more you do something, the better you get at it, the better you get at anything.
Yeah.
The more you can get paid for it. It's recession proof.
Like sucking dick, when I was 14.
Tell me about it.
I was terrible. Teeth, I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. But now
it's like you're landing in an airplane.
Yeah, suck any dick in this building.
True story.
Yeah. Aw. Thanks, Geno. This was fun. How much time did we do? I think we did about 28 minutes. It's perfect. All right.
There you go.
All right. Signing off. First podcast ever in the hole. Bye. I'm going to listen to that.